It's time for Live on Lanier. Welcome to Live on Lanier, a monthly podcast brought to you by the Lake Lanier Association. We have three very informative segments we hope you'll enjoy this month. This past April, we met our new executive director, Victoria Clevenger. Thought this would be a good time to bring Victoria back and fill us in on all LLA activities over the course of this past busy summer and talk about the importance of LLA membership. Then, after another successful shore sweep, Lake Lanier Association board member, vice president, and master shore sweep air traffic controller Bonny Putney will join us to recap this year's event. And finally, we'll hand the mic over to Victoria to introduce you to a new member of our LLA team, Jacquelyn Guhl. So thanks for tuning in, and please stay tuned for Live on Lanier, brought to you by the Lake Lanier Association. So we're being joined now by Executive Director Victoria Clevenger of the Lake Lanier Association. Victoria, thanks for taking time to meet with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Actually, very excited to have you on the show. We spoke last spring, and you had a pretty full calendar sitting in front of you,
I
and now
did.
it's come to fruition. Thought it might be a good time to do a little bit of a summary of what all the summer events were and the different things we participated in, mostly to let people know how active and busy your Lake Lanier Association is all year round, particularly in the summer.
Absolutely. So we like to say we're the premier advocate for Lake Lanier, not only because of our programs and the work that we're doing on Lake with our initiatives and programs, but also just with our presence and the way we're getting involved with businesses and community members and our members that support us with their financial giving as well. So this summer, we certainly were out in front on the front lines quite a bit.
Absolutely.
I think we kind of had a recap just a second ago, and we're like, wow, we did a lot this summer between having our first office open house and inviting the community in to see our space and to openly chat with us about what we're doing. We hosted our first lunch and learn in this office as well, which was really exciting. We got to have about 30 of our members here for an exclusive learning opportunity about the Clean Lake Pledge and what homeowners can do to preserve and protect Lake Lanier and be responsible stewards. We were doing things like speaking events with America's Boating Club and working with Water Sports Central for their Ladies on the Lake events every month.
Love that.
We were all over the place this summer. We really were. If you can think of it, we were probably there.
Well, I'm going to roll a reminder all the way back to the beginning of the boating season and the lake summer season, what we call summer anyway, and that was a knock it out of the ballpark annual membership
It
celebration.
was a really great event this
That
year.
was an amazing venue, an
Mhm.
amazing event,
It was.
really well attended, and wow, it was the
Yeah.
first actually big event in that new venue there at the rowing
It
club, right?
was, yeah. So that was the brand new boathouse at Lake Lanier Olympic Park, which of course is a monumental space to the Olympics that were here.
Hmm.
And we got to do our annual member celebration there, which I think there was an excitement for seeing the space for the first time and getting to be a part of the event for the first time. I think at that point in the year, after the cold weather and everybody's itching to get by the lake again.
Sure.
So I think we timed that perfectly with location and everybody ready to be out near the lake again.
And you could actually be on the lake and see the lake.
Yes,
It's really
yes.
hard to find a venue that has the parking and the capability to handle as many of our members that come to that every
Mhm.
year where you can see the lake. And that was
Yes,
one weekend.
yes. And then add on food trucks and music and a silent auction. It was just so much fun.
I actually got to wear all the Georgia Championship ring replicas. I've got a picture of that I still have to this day. Well, it was a very busy summer. Every time we have a board meeting and the girls run through everything that you all have going on, it's just like, wow, I wonder when they have time to get ready for shore sleep, which, by the way, just wrapped up and was our other major event of the year. I've got to tell you, our new registration system and the organization that goes into it as a captain at War Hill Park, it just makes it so much easier to handle the crowds and handle the activities and really get around to grabbing garbage. You guys do a great job with that.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you approve of the hard thing. This shore sweep was phenomenal. I think it was a lot of fun on our side, even as far as making sure we had things like the registration or other things in place to make it be a really smooth, easygoing event. We really actually started preparing for this back in July. So
Sure.
about 2 full months worth, 2.5 months even of preparation went into that event, which I think made it, the most easygoing shore sweep we've probably had to date as far as things being organized. We were able to host all of our site captains in our office for a special dinner and chat with them, asking them what questions they had, or even just saying thank you for the work that they do for Shore Sweep, because they really are an extension of the LLA staff for that event, allowing us to have solid representation, rock star volunteers at every location. So we're able to be out and about and mobile throughout the day, which is a significant help to us. So that was the first time we ever did something like that, having them all in to chat and provide dinner and say thank you before the event. So I think that was something we need to do
It
moving
was neat
forward every
meeting all
time.
the other captains, actually.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That was
A
a lot
lot
of
of people
fun.
have like heard, oh, you do this side, or I've heard your name before. So there was
Sure.
a lot of camaraderie among everybody too.
And that's a nice segue into the new office space. It's incredible. If you haven't seen it in Gainesville, you need to come and join one of our lunch and learns or one of the other
Yeah.
programs that we put on here. Be sure to reach out in advance. We have a very minimal staff and they're here way too much already anyway, so it's not a regular 9 to 5 deal. But we have a great home for the Lake Lanier
We do.
Association to operate from. And we've hosted some high level meetings here, including some legislators who
Yep.
made it in the door, members from the DNR, members from the
Mhm.
Corps of Engineers, stuff that goes on year round with the Lake Lanier Association, and we're just thrilled to have this space to be able to operate in.
Absolutely, yes. It's certainly having the new office space to welcome them in is really beneficial. Prior to this, we were in a small suite within a building that hosted other nonprofits. We had to share conference room space, and we really just outgrew the space, not only from physically, but also from everything we knew LLA could grow to be. So that's one of the beautiful things about having this office space is we're almost even kind of now that we're a year in it, we're still learning all the opportunities that are at our
Sure.
fingertips now having this designated space. So
Makes
it's
a
really
nice
wonderful.
podcast studio with the
It
map on the
sure
wall here
does. That's a
too.
great backdrop.
And I don't want to underemphasize how important it is when you've got somebody from the legislation who'll come here and meet with us and see what we have going
Mhm.
on and understand this is a professional not-for-profit organization
Yes.
that really is the advocate for Lake
Yeah.
Lanier. It just ups our game in every one of those
Yeah. I
areas.
think people it one creates an understanding. It's so visible, right? We've got pylons in the office. We have physical solar lights we can show people. We've got a piece of Brown's Bridge where we can talk about our love for Lake Lanier. So,
Sure.
we make everything that we do so tangible and quick to understand when we have a designated office space. But you're right, it does show that we're professional and we're serious and we take our work very seriously and we need the support of the community to help provide every detail that we need moving forward as far as community support and fundraising and all of those things to make our work possible. But
Hmm.
having this designated space certainly, is a great vessel for that.
So candidly, the thing that keeps the doors open and the lights on and this thing moving forward is our membership.
It is.
We thrive, we strive, we do everything we can to support and protect Lake Lanier, but it's supported by the financial contributions of our members just by being a member. So
Yeah.
if you haven't joined yet or you're thinking about it, that's just a start of all of the reasons. We've got multiple other programs going on. You can see it anytime at lakelanier.org. For example, the Life Jacket Loaner Station.
Yeah, yeah. That's a really great program that is certainly member supported between donations and even the volunteers that go out and check on those stations throughout the year. In peak season, which we consider Memorial Day through Labor Day, those stations are actually monitored every single week, all 12 of them. And then outside of that, they're checked on a monthly basis just because they're at locations like boat ramps and things that don't necessarily close just because it's getting chilly, right? So we do have a lot of support around that program. And then when you think about, okay, we have close to 10 other programs, it just multiplies
Sure.
the need for the support of our members for sure.
Another one I find really interesting is the solar light program because I think people boat at night understand how important, vital that they are to have them on the lake now. And they'll just drive along and say, oh, look what the Corps of Engineers did. Well, actually, that started as our relationship with the Corps of Engineers and our funding to make it happen.
Yeah, and I believe it's actually like a write-in request from some of our members. They're like, "Hey, can we do something about making nighttime boating safer?" And little did we know, then birth the solar light program, and we've got 300 of them out there, and they certainly do make a big difference.
They're amazing. I love every one of them. And we maintain them on an annual
We
basis.
do, yeah. We do our best to make sure they are all in full operating condition before Memorial Day weekend or right around that time of year. They have a 3-year warranty period, so we make sure that they're inspected annually and we know based on how long they've been out there where they fall within that 3-year warranty so we can take advantage of that if necessary,
Hmm.
if they need any repairs repairs or replacements.
This stuff's going on 12 months out of the year, folks. Another great program that you're going to be seeing a lot of activity in the coming months is our Project Armor, over a mile of shoreline
Yeah.
being protected with riprap, not by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, but because we have the relationship with them, we get permission to
Hmm.
go out there. But then we, working with our various counties and board members, managed to pull off another mile of islands being protected this fall by the Lake Lanier
That's right.
Association.
So we've already done 2 miles, about 12 islands, and this Project Armor will be a third mile of riprap protection. This summer, some behind the scenes work that we've been doing is we put an RFP out. So we got bids from lots of local contractors, even haulers and stone quarries. So we've been working really hard behind the scenes to get all the details in place. So whenever the water level allows, we are ready to spring into action. We've got permits going and whatnot as well. So at this point, we could start that project any day. So you'll start to see some signage out on the lake in those locations where we're going to be installing that riprap. And we'll probably be able to put some information out there about the very specific locations that we're planning to do the riprap as well. But I think it's one of those things to just take it with a slight grain of salt. There may always be some delays as far as these trees need to come down or the water level isn't appropriate just yet. So this
Or a
project,
hurricane happens.
there's that too. So, as quickly and as eager as we are to get this started, we do foresee this project extending into 2025 for sure.
I'm glad you talked about the RFP process, because I sat through all the board meetings, and God bless Skip Short. He's a board of director on the Lake Lanier Association. He's
Mhm.
running Project Armor. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him on and talk a lot further
Yeah.
about that. But one of those Facebook trolls is out there. Oh yeah, just follow the money. You'll know what happened. I promise you, it was a long, intensive, very
Mhm.
professional. We're going to get the best bang for our buck on Lake Lanier, and
Absolutely.
that's how it all played out.
We went with the best value in mind, not only from the quality of the work and the amount of work they could do for us, and we of course need to have a trust with the person that is going to be working alongside us to do such a big project. We want to have somebody that's a true partner to us, so that was important in the
Sure.
RFP process for sure.
As the partnerships with the various counties who help
Yes,
fund these programs, that it wouldn't
absolutely.
help it without the Lake Lanier Association there
Yep.
to manage it.
Yeah, so we've got funding from Gwinnett County, Forsyth County, and Hall County. So really, um, all the players on the lake are getting involved when you think about it. We
Great.
have to we have to have their involvement for sure.
Well, I really wanted to have Victoria again just to encourage everyone. If you haven't renewed, please do. If you haven't joined, we'd love to have you on board, and we really need your support. And if you've got a friend or a neighbor who hasn't joined, go ahead and email them this video. Let them check it
Good
out.
idea.
And more importantly, go to lakelanier.org and see all the great work that the Lake Lanier Association has been doing for a long, long time and continues to do. We'd love to have your support. There's way too many people living and playing on the lake that aren't a part of us yet.
Yeah.
We're encouraging you to join.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And we're going to have you right back in just a moment. We're going to have a brand new interviewer and a brand new interviewee for the first time on Live on Lanier. So be sure to stick around for that.
Lake Lanier Association's initiative for a clean lake preserves and protects Lake Lanier for everyone with programming and education resources like our annual shore sweep cleanup, our Adopt a Lake water testing program, erosion and sedimentation monitoring, abandoned dock and boat removal, and our Clean Lake Pledge. Learn more about the work of the Lake Lanier Association or how to become a member, a volunteer, or to donate at lakelanier.org.
So we're going to start with a great big sigh of relief.
Nope.
Shore Sweep 2024
We
in
did
the books.
deploy a Band-Aid.
That's
So
great.
that was
Actually,
that's good.
we say it's in the books, but there's still a whole lot rolling. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, you would think, 2 weeks after the event that we would be done, but we are not
We
done.
are not.
No.
There's still collections going on. There's still people out there doing what they do. Still numbers to come in. So we don't want to get into any of the numbers of what happened for this year. But from my perspective, everything I've seen and heard, it's been another successful shore
Oh,
sweep.
yes, very successful. We had thousands of volunteers. We had lots of floats come in. Actually, we're still picking up the floats. Hall County's still getting them from some of the sites where we had an overflow, and Hall County can't take them to their landfill, so they have to go to Banks County to be dumped. So
Mhm.
that whole process takes time, and so we don't have any numbers from Hall County yet, but they're coming, and hopefully it's going to be a lot, and it looks like a lot to me.
So we'll follow up on that in a later series, but we want everyone to know how much we appreciate our volunteers and our captains at every site to
Oh,
start with.
oh yeah. Can't do it without the captains, can't do it without the volunteers, obviously. And the captains really do a lot. And I don't think people appreciate what an important job that is. And it's really important and really critical to having Shore Sweep be a success.
I'll even say a special thank you to Bill and Cheryl Hain. We had an
Oh, yeah,
injury the
we
week
we
of, just a
we
couple
have
days
Shore Sweep,
before.
and
They
they
jumped
stepped
right
in.
in.
They stepped right in, and they took it over, and they did a great job. So
Toto Creek
salute
Park
to
lives
them.
on.
Salute to them. Well, we moved to 14 sites this year, which is a lot of sites. And
Mhm.
Robert Edson took over the Little River site, which is a new one for us this year. And he had a lot of success and had a lot of people come in and bring trash. And we're all excited about having a site there. So um, as more sites come available, we'll try to expand more. So we
Super.
want to keep it up.
You know, it's kind of funny. Every year somebody comes up and asks me at our site, can we do this in the spring too?
Yeah.
I'm like, Googa Once I explain to them everything that goes
Yeah,
into it, they're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, you're
yeah.
right. Once a year seems plenty.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I agree with that. Yeah, I would love to be able to do more than one short sweep. We actually tried it once, God, 15 years ago, and it didn't go well. So, doing it twice a year is pretty much an impossibility with all the mechanized equipment and all the parts and all the people and all the things that we have to do. So, just can't do it. But that doesn't mean that we don't want to see stuff, say something, see something, because we have a lot of stuff still out there, floats and docks and pieces of docks and sunk boats and you name it. So we do want to know about it because our work continues all year. We don't just do shore sweep. We try to make sure that the lake is clean, safe, and full all year round.
And that's something that's available at lakelanier.org that they can go and talk about at any point in time. Put the information in, let us know where it's at. That's not a promise we're going to be able to deal with it. We're the not-for-profit
Yeah,
organization on the lake, but it is a way
yeah.
to make sure it gets into the system, and we try to get somebody to deal with it.
Yeah, and the only way we can track it and the only way we can make sure that something is going on is if they do go into the website and do the see something, say something, give us all the information, give us the pictures, give us as much information as you can so we can follow up on it. Some of the stuff is DNR, some of the stuff is core, some of the stuff we actually can do something about, but we don't know until we see it. So we got to get that information in.
Well, a couple more thank yous for Shore Sweep we want to be sure to do, starting with our sponsors.
Oh yeah, short sweep, as you can figure out if you are a part of short sweep or have done any of it, is not a cheap, labor intensive, very, very complicated thing that we put together. So without our sponsors, we couldn't do it. Especially want to thank United Rentals. They have just completely upped our game as far as getting it cleaned up and having safe equipment with a professional operator at the sites and making sure that all that big heavy trash gets into the dumpsters.
We also have multiple professional dock companies on Lake Lanier that
Yes.
participate in a huge way every year. Couldn't happen without them.
Oh, no. Actually, I'm thinking next year we need to engage a lot more of the dock companies because having a barge out there where people can pick up floats and just take it to a barge as opposed to a site. And then once they get the barge full, taking it to the site and dumping it in seems like a much better business model, I should say,
Sure.
than people trying to drag all these floats across the lake everywhere. So I'm hoping that we can kind of engage more of those people because they are a key to having this work right and to get as much stuff as we possibly can off in one day.
We have various groups and clubs that help out every year. I know at Ward Hill Park, the Crappie Club makes my work
Oh
out there a
yeah,
whole lot easier, everything that they pull off. We also have various counties around the lake who some participate in a huge way. We'll be talking to one of those counties in just a little bit on our program. But
yeah.
we want to make sure to thank
Oh
everybody.
yeah, and all the key beautiful organizations around the lake, they really step up and help us. Most of them run a site, and we're really happy to have them as our partners during Shore Sweep because once again, it takes a village to do this. There's a lot of parts into it.
It's another great reason to support and join the Lake Lanier Association. We only have two paid staff, and they work on this about half of their time all year round, besides everything else that they pull together. But they've made registration almost seamless, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that program.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, that we keep tweaking it, and it's only going to get better as far as I'm concerned. And without our staff, without our two great staff members, Jacquelyn and Victoria, there's no way we could do Shore Sweep. I mean, they just work their little butts off for a month to get all this together for all of us. So we do appreciate that, and we thank them. And the only way thing that supports them and us is you guys. So you guys need to step up and be part of Lake Lanier Association and make sure that we're on your list for donations.
All of that information is available at lakelanier.org. Thank you, Bonnie, every
Thank you.
year for what you do for Shore Sweep. The whole lake is so appreciative.
New tractor controller. I actually did get into the lake this year.
Did
I
you?
got to go out there and move some floats around for a.
All right.
It's exciting. Yeah. So,
Well, we enjoyed having you come
all
by
right.
and see
It's
some War Hill
always
Park
good to
too.
see you, Kirby.
Thank you, Bonnie. We'll be right back with more after this.
Lake Lanier Association strives to keep Lake Lanier safe for the 12 million people who use it for recreational enjoyment each year. We promote safe boating through our installation and maintenance of 300 solar lights on Lanier for safer boating after dark, and with our life jacket learner stations and promoting safety courses. The Lake Lanier Association is committed to educate and protect all who visit the lake each year. Learn more about the work of the Lake Lanier Association at lakelanier.org. All right, I'm welcomed here with Jacquelyn Guhl. She is newest to the LLA team, and we're really excited for you guys to finally get to meet her. This is her podcast debut with the Lake Lanier Association.
I'm excited to be here
Great.
amongst the veterans of LLA, Victoria, and some of the board members. So this is exciting for me.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. Tell us a little bit about your role with LLA and how you found this opportunity, how it's been going over the last couple of months. I think our members and audience would just love an opportunity to get to know you.
Absolutely. So a little background about myself. I went to Samford University in Birmingham, Alabama. I got my degree in journalism and mass communication. So I knew going out into the world that I wanted to do something in the communication field. I interned at nonprofits in college. I also went down an insurance route, which it doesn't necessarily correlate to my job here. But as soon as this job opportunity popped up, I knew I wanted to get involved. I've always felt passionately about nonprofits and the work they do. And what LLA does is just so awesome. And I just feel like I didn't realize how much goes into LLA as a whole until I got here and started working here. But really, it's been an eye-opening experience of learning, meeting new faces, working with the core, working with the DNR, working with members. So my specific role is membership and communications. The communication side is more PR, social media, marketing, and then membership. Obviously, I talk to members on a daily basis. I email back and forth with them. We actually got a new membership system up and running recently, so we're very excited for that to be out there. And it's just been a really awesome experience so far.
Great. I'm so glad you're here and loving it. I will say your passion for nonprofits and just wanting to be a part of organizations that do really meaningful work is really one of the best things about having you on our team, because I think you can love the lake, you can love boating, those kinds of things. But if you're not in it with a heart to serve the community and to see this area prosper with, our programs, the Clean Full Safe mission, I think if you don't have that front of mind, it's not a good fit. But that was something that was very evident when you came on board, as you just wrapped your arms around it. You, as much as it was like drinking from a fire hose and you had no idea what all it involved, you were like, wow, this is really important stuff. I'm so happy like we're doing this. Somebody has to.
Absolutely. I feel like I've been a sponge just absorbing everything that goes on around here. And it has just been really, really neat to see it all.
Yes,
So.
you have to be. Like we've said, we're a 2-person team and we serve a community of 12 million visitors to Lake Lanier, 10,000 dock permits. So you certainly have to be a sponge and willing to learn all the things or even engage in new opportunities and see new ideas up ahead to be able to accomplish our ultimate goal. There's actually 10,000 dock permits out on Lake Lanier. So our goal is to get them all in the fold of LLA and supporting what we're doing and getting involved with us. So what does that look like to you? If you could throw something to the wall and see if it sticks as far as spreading far and wide the LLA mission, what does that look like? Share with our members.
I mean, just getting our name out there, you would think the Lake Lanier Association, everyone on the lake would know about us, but surprisingly they don't. And there's people who live on the lake who are just now hearing about us or haven't heard about us yet. And so the marketing plays a big role in that, just getting our name out there, just blasting it out there. We recently sent out mail pieces, actually, shore sweep ones and just ones talking about general LLA information. So that was good to get that out there in the community.
That's a fun little behind the scenes project, really. I think what's neat about that is we were able to send that out to people that just live near the lake, not necessarily our members. So hopefully we were able to capture a new audience that way. And I would also just echo, obviously we can post social media posts and put out emails all the time, but if people don't already follow us and if they're not already on our email list, they're not going to get those communication pieces. So I would really encourage our members or those that are watching this video right now, if you're seeing this and you think, wow, I wonder if my neighbor is a member, or I don't know if they're involved, but they're my doc mate or whatever it is, please share this video with them or tell them to look at our social media and our website, because I think word of mouth and even just the recommendation of a neighbor or a friend can go a long way. And that most likely is reaching a group of people that don't already know about us. And like I said, we can scream it from the rooftops all day long with our social media and email and website, but we really also rely on our membership to help us broadcast the news that we're doing.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to talk about that a little bit because something that we produce every year is our annual report, which shows all of our programs and all the things that we're doing with our donors supporting. And one of the big pieces of that is being transparent about our revenue and our expenses.
Absolutely.
And we're actually 50% funded just by personal members.
Yes. So I don't think people necessarily realize that when they think about our funding and what we're able to do because of our funding, it really boils down to 50% personal members and what is it, 16% business sponsorships?
Yeah, and then the remainder is just those small one-time donations or special occurrences.
Right.
And then that allows us to do solar lights, shore sweep, life jacket loaner stations, monthly water quality testing, all these things that without these donor support and member support, really, quite frankly, wouldn't be possible. So it's so critical to the things that we do to have member support.
Yes, it's absolutely critical. And we just really just would love for you to become a member if you aren't already. If you want to see change on the lake, we do our very best with what we have. And so supporting us, giving us that funding can help us make a big difference on Lake Lanier.
Absolutely. That's right. And while we're at it, talking about memberships and the value of being a member, why don't we share a few of the fun perks and benefits to being involved with LLA? Obviously, there's the obvious ones like the annual member celebration, which we talked about is such a fun event every year. We have member exclusive lunch and learns and webinars, but we've also started doing some monthly giveaways. So we should talk about those and hopefully get some excitement around that and get some businesses involved with us on that one too.
Absolutely. So if you are part of our email list, we have been sending out emails every month. Every month we do a giveaway item. We really use that to just push membership. Last month in August, we did a dog float giveaway, which was a really cool giveaway. And then this month, or I guess it's October 1st today.
Yeah.
So last month it was Buford Corn Maze tickets, which is really awesome. And so what we're really trying to do is get business sponsors and people who just want to donate. We want to use that for the giveaway items and really push people to get to the point where they sign up and potentially win something in the process. So
it's kind of one of those added perks, right? Everybody knows the obvious benefits of supporting Clean, Full, Safe in our programs and mission, and then some member exclusive events. But we thought, you know what? If we could work with our business sponsors and offer maybe a special coupon or giveaway item, it's just another perk and a way to say thank you to our members. So we're really excited to have that in place now. We've got some exciting ones up ahead. Also, if you're a business sponsor listening to this right now, we're also looking into 2025 giveaways, and we're ready to work with those community members and get some exciting things in the hands of our members.
Absolutely. We're very excited for what's to come. And obviously we are here most days of the week. If not, we're out in the community working, but reach out to us if you have any questions about membership. And we are so happy to help you and answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you for saying that. So one of the really exciting member exclusive things that we've got coming up is that shoreline management plan revision opportunity. So we have been working with the Corps of Engineers, and we've gotten the green light to be able to help provide feedback on their next revision to the shoreline management plan. But we're not ready to capture those feedback pieces just yet. It's actually going to be through that new membership portal.
It is.
And it's going to be member exclusive. So if you do not have an email associated with a membership with us, unfortunately, that portal and that survey link won't be shared with you. But that, again, is the importance of this, is getting your voice heard with the Corps of Engineers and your feedback regarding dock maintenance or the way you want your dock to even look and feel throughout the year. So we're really excited to be able to offer that to our members. So we would encourage you, again, if you want your friends and your neighbors to be able to provide feedback that the Corps ultimately sees and hears, there is a huge need and reason to join and support the LLA as a member.
Absolutely. So, like I said, if you have any questions, let us know. We're excited to push that survey out. Stay tuned. We will have more details coming up with that.
Yep.
We don't have a set date yet, but keep an eye out because the sooner the better is kind of what we're thinking.
Yep. It'll certainly be coming soon. And in the meantime, we hope that you will take a look at our website, social media, and reach out to us if you have any questions and just see the good work that we're doing. Hopefully you'll see Jacquelyn and I out in the community and throughout the year at different events. And if you want to come and chat with us, please make an appointment. We'd love to have an opportunity to chat with you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for joining, Jacquelyn.
Yes. Nice to meet you all. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for Live on Lanier, brought to you by the Lake Lanier Association. We'd like to thank our guests this month, our Executive Director, Victoria Clevenger, LLA Vice President and Board Member, and Master Air Traffic Controller for Shore Sweep, Bonny Putney, and our new staff member, Jacquelyn Guhl. Please feel free to share this podcast with your lake friends and neighbors. And one more time, we'd like to invite you to join us as a member of the Lake Lanier Association. For more information, go to lakelanier.org. That's lakelanier.org. Be sure to join us next month for Live on Lanier.